So welcome back to DecoyNoise and another episode of Am I the Antagonist in Am I the Antagonist for ratting out my coworker and getting her fired? So as always, we read the story in its entirety, we take it over to Decoy Court where I give you my knee-jerk reaction, then I read the top comments, controversial comments, and your comments down below, but make sure you subscribe down below as well because the world is getting very, very crazy right now, and you owe it to yourself to take at least 2 breaks a day and just hang out with me and watch me judge some strangers online with you guys in the comment section. So, OP wrote, I work at a popular chain coffee shop. A few days ago, a woman came in, ordered some iced drink with almond milk, and my coworker made it for her. She was pretty rude, but that isn't uncommon for where we work. The next day, the woman came back and ordered the same drink and reminded us to please make sure that we were using almond milk because she knows for a fact that she got regular milk. I apologized and made the drink for her. Afterwards, my coworker tells me that she purposely gave the woman regular milk because she was being a jerk. She then told me she messes with people's orders all the time, especially when the customer is being difficult. She'll give them the wrong milk, decaf instead of regular espresso, and regular syrup instead of sugar-free. The last example freaked me out, particularly because my boyfriend is type 1 diabetic and something like that is extremely dangerous. I told her that it is dangerous to mess with people's food without their knowledge, and she said they get what they deserve for being a jerk. I pulled my managers aside and told her that what my coworker told me. After she finished the shift, she was let go. I received a text from her saying that I was at fault for her potentially becoming homeless because I got her fired. That wasn't my intention. I was just scared of what her actions would lead to and didn't want anyone to get hurt. Am I the antagonist? So as always, I take the case and rush it over to Decoy Court for my knee-jerk reaction to this situation, and it always bewilders me to see when people say, it is your fault for making me face the consequences of my actions. This is just like OP was inferring right there, saying, hey, you could kill somebody that's diabetic by giving them sugar mocha syrup instead of the sugar-free syrup. The whole lactose intolerance thing isn't just like, oh, sometimes it makes people's tummies hurt. You could kill somebody with that type of thing or whatever. So it's like, you don't know what's going on. And here's the thing is, when you see a brief glimpse of somebody at a Starbucks or a Coffee Bean or a Pete's Coffee or something, and they are just a little bit rude to the person, you don't know what's going on in their life. Maybe their father just passed away, or maybe their girlfriend broke up with them, or maybe they just got a really, really bad medical diagnosis. So it's a situation where, hey, I mean, like, they can be a jerk to you. It's messed up. You just kind of take it, but just be happy you only interact with that person for 2 minutes out of your day instead of being that very angry person, because they walk out of your coffee shop in 2 minutes. They live with themselves their entire life, and it doesn't seem like a very happy existence. If they're gonna cuss out or be mean to a coffee shop barista, I'm sure they don't take well to anything else that goes in their life. So I understand why she would want to get back at the rude people, but this isn't an excuse to actually potentially hurting somebody. And also the idea is maybe that girl, the girl that got fired, may end up actually hurting somebody and facing criminal charges later on. So maybe OP, by letting them get fired from some whatever barista coffee shop job, is going to save them from potential serious consequences much later on. So I'm obviously siding with one person, but we always have to do the decoy defense, which is just the inverse of that. And what if she's some sort of time traveler where she knows, hey, that person is the next serial assaulter, beater of people, and just angry person, and she's just going back in time and serving bad coffee to all the people, giving them kind of this karmatic justice or something. I mean, I know my decoy defense is weak sometimes, but I do these one take and just off the cuff, and honestly, I really can't see a reason for this person being exonerated of their bad behavior. So obviously, I gotta go ahead and say that OP is not the antagonist. They're doing the justified thing. They're getting them fired, probably saving somebody's life down the line, and also giving their coworker slash ex-coworker, ex-friend some good gentle consequences for what could have been much worse later on in their life. Who knows what that could have been. So let's take a short break right now and let me make sure you guys are giving me your comments down below, because sometimes we read the top comments and it changes our mind, and we really want to give us, you know, everybody's knee-jerk reaction because I give you mine. But let's go ahead and get to that top comment right now after you've done yours. So the top comment was, not the antagonist, forget her. She could do some very serious harm to people, could potentially lead to someone's death. She should never be around anyone's food ever again, which is the sad thing is she probably will end up at another coffee shop and even more angry at people, doing worse. So hopefully this will be a good lesson, but I just don't imagine that being the case, because they're already trying to push the blame on their actions on OP, saying you're making me homeless because of my actions, and also they're just going to be more angry about it. So they didn't learn their lesson, but hopefully maybe later on the line. But yeah. So the next reply was, seriously, the nerve of trying to blame someone else. What if she caused someone a severe shock or allergic reaction? Homelessness does sound pretty good compared to a lawsuit and homelessness. And that's the thing, is we kind of live in a world where, how dare you make me face the consequences for my own actions? Shame on you type of thing. Like, hey, how about you not poison anybody at the coffee shop and then you wouldn't lose your job or be homeless? But hey, that's too much thinking right now. And the next reply was, not the antagonist, and your coworker is, holy crap. That was a terrifying read. I have a sibling with a serious allergy to dairy, not lactose intolerance, but a genuine allergy. When we mistakenly gave my brother the wrong sweets that had milk powder in them, he nearly died. If your coworker gave my brother the wrong coffee, real milk instead of soy, he might die. Your coworker is so unbelievably irresponsible, it makes me shake my faith in people. So here's the thing is, yes, there are terrible people out the world, and that's the thing is, she just has no sense of personal responsibility and the fact that she's at blame with this. So hopefully this, we can get her removed from food service as close as possible, but I just don't imagine there's anything else for him. And here's the thing is, maybe they'll be doing the same thing if they get a job over at Walmart afterwards, where it's not serving somebody dairy instead of soy, but just like leaving a spill out because, oh, you were a jerk to me? Well, let me spray some oil on the ground because I think you're a bad person. That sort of thing. So let's go ahead and read one more top reply saying, not the antagonist, obviously. She's lucky she only got fired. A lot of places had food tampering laws in place. Doing things like adulterating a product should be sugar-free and can land you in a lot of trouble, which hopefully that'll be the case, but I feel like all these companies are kind of tiptoeing around the whole punishment thing or whatever. Like they said they'd let the girl work the rest of her shift. I'm sorry, if I was a manager over there, I would probably want to punish her to the fullest extent of it, maybe do a whole like looking into what they're doing. I can't believe I can't reach the next top reading the controversial reply right now, but as always, my whole thing is not the best system, but I mean I try my best. But okay, so let's go ahead and read the next top controversial reply that says, this sub is so garbage. Oh, okay, that's not really helping. The next reply was, definitely not the antagonist, but I want to say that many people commenting saying you're not the antagonist would have no problem if it was the drink being tampered with, if it was the police. I don't get, why are they pushing their political agenda? We're just talking about something that's about coffee in the workplace or whatever. That's why I wanted to make, DecoyNoise this cool place where we just judge people's strangers BS drama online, not having to deal with, the crazy angry political narrative that you find everywhere else on the internet. So hopefully we can avoid those comments. The next reply was, not the antagonist. All those examples are something of not to mess with. Someone who could be lactose intolerant, people who order decaf who could have heart issues or anxiety, and that jolt of caffeine could set them off. And of course, swapping sugar-free for sugar can affect diabetics. People don't realize how responsible they are when handling food and drinks for others. So more of the same thing. I mean, obviously, this is just, nobody really seemed to have a comment that went against the narrative of, hey, good job. Maybe that's why that person was saying this sub can be so garbage right now, because they just think that maybe these are fake stories and it's unoriginal or whatever it is. But I mean, sometimes you can have someone that just, maybe OP right here is very, very low self-esteem and doesn't know, like, wait, did I make somebody homeless? I don't want to make somebody homeless. I just wanted to keep people safe. Did I overreact? Maybe I should have had a one-on-one conversation with this person, and it really rattles their self-belief. So it was good for this Am I the Antagonist post to be here, so they can have a situation where they say, hey, I'm unsure about a decision that I made. Was I justified? And most of these top replies were saying, hey, you were justified. You possibly saved someone. Good on you. Don't second guess yourself for a second. And this is exactly what the sub is for, and it was a good thing. So no, I don't think this sub is garbage right now. Oftentimes I'll say, hey, it looks like there's fake posts on here, but I mean, at the end of the day, there's always going to be fake posts. But as long as we can have a good time reading it, judging people, and just kind of discussing it in the comment section, I feel like there's no harm, no foul. But as always, if you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching all the content and making it to the celebration at the end of the video. If you like it so much, make sure you like it and maybe share the video or the channel overall with someone that might like this Reddit podcast discussion thing I got going on. But if nothing else, go ahead and put this on autoplay and watch the next episode of DecoyNoise coming up next.